What is up, everybody? It's your boy Flash from ALWT Gaming, aka Malachi36. That is 36. I'm here with It's the 9-Ball corner pocket at the billiard. How are you doing today, good sir?
Pretty doing good. I'm doing all right. We just got through doing a quick thing of Master Duel, so
A little bit Yu-Gi-Oh up there. Yeah. How'd that game end?
it didn't go well.
I had the trashiest start hand ever.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get him out. And all my draws were nowhere near the heart at all.
Okay, gotcha. And also in the lower screen right here is the former best friend, Mildew and Carrot, because he whipped me in some Yu-Gi-Oh! Before we went on there. How are you doing today, good sir? Does it feel good? Does it feel good to put me in such shame?
Yeah, it really did.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing okay. Can't complain. Living life, you know. Just enjoying it. I haven't been on Yu-Gi-Oh! In a bit because kind of sad that they didn't put in the TCG ban list, which they should have.
They
But,
really
you know.
need to get some bans out.
Oh, they do, you know.
Well, they got some bands, but they don't have like.
It's
No,
not
they
to the current.
don't.
It's not to the current TCG rules.
Yeah.
They need to get the current TCG rules in there. Is what really they need to do. No offense, like the fact that this game emulates what you can, like the same things that you can do in regular, like card games, like in the actual the tabletop game, is they need the same rulings. They cannot be behind in it. They've got to have that same mock-up, same setup and rules and all. Because you're just gonna have people, as 9-Ball and I have said, when we watch people play or been playing with each other, or he's been playing someone trying to get out of the game. He's like, come on, stop watching the YouTube video on how to play this deck, because literally that's what a lot of people have done is just gone on YouTube, looked up decks, and then they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, guys, play some originality, get your own shit. And there are a lot of players who do that. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of players who do that, but
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
Sorry.
YouTube's not bad for recommendation, but yeah, don't be trying to troll and cheat and stuff like that.
I mean,
That's-
you can go on there, get ideas, see what people have built. That's
Right.
A-okay. I'm fine with that. But if that's all you're doing is just building a troll deck just because that's all you can do, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You can't just read through the cards, search for stuff, build your own, have some fun? Like, good lord, me and my bro TBF Abyss, we have some just making some shit decks and all, just having shits and giggles. And they're like, oh, well, these cards aren't that good. I'm like, I don't care. Like,
Yeah,
I'm trying to build the
deck right now.
I'm trying to build the Weather Painters and the Synchro Core group. Like, I'm trying to build their decks and have fun with them. I'm like,
it's
they may
just-
not be
I'm currently
top
building-
tiers,
I'm
but
building a basement in Cosmos.
I saw that. I was like, this is gonna be fun. Like, it's fun decks. Like, it may not be tournament grade, but it is fun. That's Yu-Gi-Oh, people. Is having fun with your cards.
I will say that there's still a couple of spots that they need to improve as far as some of the glitches, because there's a monster that I have inside my deck, and when you summon him, it's not a choice. He destroys a monster on the card. So if he's the only one that's on the field, so if he's the only monster on the field, you have to select himself. That's fine. So you have to be strategic with it. I summoned him, and my the little effect that where blows up the card a little bit to show you that their effect is about to happen.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. I was like, okay. So I looked at every card that was there to make sure that there wasn't anything that was negating it. Nothing was negating it. And this is not the first time this has happened. It's rare. It is rare. But
Is there something in the writing causes to say anything?
No. Literally, all I have to do is just sacrifice a monster and summon him to. He's level 5 or 6 or something like that. So I just got to sacrifice one monster, and then once he hits the field from sacrificing, once his normal summon by that, then he will do an effect. And that effect hasn't failed me except for literally a total of 2 times, and neither one of those times there was a negation or even a card before that saying that you can't, monster effects are negated. Nothing ever had done anything like that. And
There was no skill drain on the field.
yeah, there's nothing it literally was there's nothing that would hinder me from making a play, because that was a very pivotal moment in a game that I was playing in earlier, and it cost me the game because his effect didn't go off. It was just
That's weird.
I'm very, 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 very confident it was a glitch in the game. So there's still some things that they need to work out inside the game.
Yeah.
Or you could have been hacked. Who knows?
Well, it was offline, so I highly doubt it. But you never know.
Mm-hmm.
But Also, in other news, Happy Smite Day. You know, we have Yu Huang that's coming out today, and as well as the patch notes. We'll see what those patch notes are.
Oh,
Gonna be
I have a
worthwhile.
question about that.
What's up?
Has Ohio played yet?
No. Actually, after stream today, me and him are jumping on. We're pretty much putting Joust behind us for right now, just focusing on Conquest because that's where it's at.
I got a friend that does Conquest. I was talking to at work.
Yeah, I was about to say Muhizi, who gamed with us over the weekend. I had suggested to him to play Hera because she's very similar to Ani and Morgana from League of Legends. And yeah, he texted me the other day, just like, dude, you are 200% correct about this.
Yeah, Hera's a great one. From you keep her at range and.
Well, not even just that she's just a great character in general. I like his favorite champion on League of Legends is Morgana. So I was like, if you want to have,
oh my god, Nox, tell him to go as Nox too.
That's a good one. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I would tell him about Nox. But he doesn't have the ultimate god pack, so he has to earn all of these, and he spends his money. Yeah, he spent his money on Hera, and so far he does not. He only wants to play Hera now. And I'm like,
I mean, that's cool and all, like learn your person, but you know, Nox is a good one if you like his mages.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Nox is an excellent. Oh, sorry. We gotta get forward.
No. We actually have time to talk about this because this is kind of a slow news day today. What were you about to say?
But I was about to say Nox is an excellent one for him because basically she's kind of a zone control mage.
Yeah.
Morgana's really good at locking somebody down. In League of Legends, somebody actually talking about that, she has the longest lockdown time. She can lock somebody down for like 9 to 10 seconds if you can pull it all off right.
If you can hit if you can hit that snare, her snares is one of the best in the games. Besides Scylla's right now, as far as I know. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong, Artemis' snares are good.
That's the longest lockdown.
For League of Legends,
yeah.
But Nox definitely has a good one. Her ult's really good too. Her dive ability to get out of Ventus people to get away is really cool. You know,
can she go inside the wall, or because I know that Chernobog can do that, but can Nox go inside the wall?
No, cannot go inside a wall.
Nox can go inside people. She can go inside the other player's shadows, which works because if I remember right, I think I've shadowed on someone, like Apollo or someone, and they ulted, and I went with them.
Yeah.
I went with them.
There's an Athena match. There's an Athena match where I was playing. Yeah, me and you were playing together.
That was with me. You ulted on me as Athena, but I'd already ulted as Thanos. You just appeared in the middle of nowhere. You're like, was someone supposed to be here?
So literally just silent inside the chat says Cleodna is the wall walker. So yeah, so it's Chernobog and Cleodna. So I don't know why I thought Nox could do it too.
No. Nox
doesn't have a wall. She, like you said, she teleports inside people.
Yeah.
It's really good too for another combo. It's her and Thanatos.
Yeah, because Thanatos dives on someone, and she pops out. When she pops out, she deals damage if any enemies are in the area.
And she can silence him immediately, allowing him to just go to town because they really ain't got.
He's got his own silence too, so they can just get double silence. Like, you know, she put the bubble, and then he slaps him. And it's like, I'm sorry, you want to do what now? No.
Yeah, that's a lot of CC right there. A lot of CC. So yeah, so like I said, after stream today, me and Ohio are gonna be trying to jump on some Smite. Literally just silent. If you're trying to jump on some Smite, check out what the new god is like, but also see what these nerfs are about. You're more than welcome to join us, man.
I watched the show for it. I mean, yeah, I'll probably join you too. But I watched the show for it, and don't get me wrong. They're like, oh, it's nerfs. I'm like, yeah, they nerfed stuff, but their nerf was like 5 points.
Yeah, well, I haven't went back to
points off some items. I'm like a 2% drop. I'm like, that doesn't feel like a nerf. That's like you just walked up to your kids and were like, all right, everyone, stick your hands out. Bad.
And again,
bad. I'm like, have we become so just anti? Just, you know, your kids are doing bad and all. You're like, no, you're like naughty in the corner. I'm like, I'm sorry, if your kids are that bad, I've been to them on my knee, give them a good whipping. Not hurting them fully, but giving them spanking to make sure they understood. No, and then I'd let them go out and play again.
I will definitely say. Real quick, literally just says, fun fact: if Nox is in Cleodna while she enters a wall, she gets forcibly kicked out. Oh, that's interesting.
That's probably because when Cleona enters the wall, the shadow that Nox is in for the person disappears.
I guess that makes sense. That would make sense. Yeah, that's very interesting. Meaning Cleo
You know, like,
gets kicked out of Nox. Meaning Cleo gets kicked out of Nox.
No, Nox gets
Nox
kicked out of Cleo.
Right?
Yeah, because Nox is the one inside of Cleo, inside of her shadow, but Cleo goes inside the wall, loses her shadow, then Nox gets knocked out. It doesn't leave Nox trapped in a wall.
Unless
that would be
Nox,
pretty.
Unless Nox is the one that gets inside the wall, and then Cleo is the one that's outside the wall. That would be very.
But then how would Nox get back out? Because Nox couldn't get out of that. You know.
I don't know. Is that
she doesn't have a wall walker ability. Nox is just stuck there in the wall for the whole game, going.
Yeah. Oh, he says, "Yeah, Dirt. Voice text while driving. Plus, we'll work on the brain. I had to done. No, you're good, man. You're good.
You're good, man.
I was confused there for a second, but yeah, as we were like dissecting it, it's a team effort. You know what I mean? So we got there. We got to point A. But yeah, no. Ultimately,
the nerfs were not nerfs in my opinion. Sorry.
No. And honestly, I was kind of in that same boat too as well. And so that's why I'm just like, let me stop complaining and just see what they did. That's what today's game is going to be. It's just going to be just see what they did, because even there's a pro gamer that's like has a good connection, I guess, with high res and everything like that. Name YouTube name is Weekend. And
I've seen that.
Yeah, he actually at first he was just like very excited about all this stuff, and then as it went on, he's just like, I don't like. The more I'm hearing this, the more that they're talking about it, like he was saying a lot of what I was saying. I was just like, I don't think it's really changed anything. Like I think it just all it was just changed a couple numbers around. But again, we'll just have to wait and see how that is today. I know that he actually had early access to it and he was playing it, and he admitted that U was broken, but obviously again he's a pro player, so we just got to see how broken he truly is for the average player. So, but even so, and I will go back to this. I'm just glad he's not a guardian or a warrior.
Sorry about that, guys.
So he's going to do a lot of damage, but he still should be killable. You know, so one of those things.
Sorry about that, guys. Wow.
Little Morgan Le Fay at lunch.
Oh yeah.
Is that who?
I mean, you remember the what was his name? Fights Tiamat a lot.
Gilgamesh, but again, he's a warrior.
So
that's what I'm saying. I'm glad he's not a warrior. Weekend is one of the 3 streamers featured in the new community event. You said what? Nambo.
He said Weekend is one of the 3 streamers featured in the new community.
Morgan Le Fay, yeah, she was broken too when she came out, but she was still killable. Like I was able to kill her as Medusa.
You apparently were playing someone who did not know what the hell they were doing.
I've played her numerous times. I was able to kill as Medusa. So.
3-second fear is very disruptive.
I'm not saying that that's not disruptive. I'm just saying that I was able to kill her. When Cthulhu came out, I couldn't kill him. He was just impossible to kill.
Cthulhu was not actually. He was very oppressive, extremely oppressive at launch. The only problem with Cthulhu is basically even now with his nerfs, he became even easier to kill, because once people figure out how to play him or play against him, that's the reason why you stop seeing him. The thing about Cthulhu is he's such a big target that you can't miss.
See, for the ones that do miss. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like if
you're not going to see him in Pro League because they know how to hit their targets, but down with the rest of the 89% of us who play the game, not in Pro League, maybe we can't always hit that target 100% of the time. Maybe because, you keep moving the damn barn around, or maybe because, hey, I just got hit and knocked up and I can't do it. Stuff like that, Yeah.
But regardless, we're going to see what the patch notes were out today. And speaking of patch notes, story number 1, The Last Samurai. And this is talking about...
No, it's not the movie.
This is talking about Sucker Punch's Ghost of Tsushima. So, by the way,
Cruise from GameSpot.
that was a great movie. I will say that was a great movie. I own it. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I've heard the complaints against it too, but I don't have a single complaint
against it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Was it a perfect movie? No, but I enjoyed every single bit of it. George Young from GameSpot says this in their article. Sucker Punch Productions revealed that Ghost of Tsushima's latest version 2.18, a patch, is the last one for the game. While that seems to be the plan, the studio will keep be on the lookout for any bugs and issues that may occur. Quote, while we aren't actively working on any additional patches at the moment, we will continue to monitor feedback on the community-run Got Legends subreddit and messages sent to @SuckerPunchProd on Twitter for high-priority bugs or issues emerge, the studio says. The patch fixes glitches that made some adjustments to both single-player game and the multiplayer Legends mode. In the single-player portion, the new Game Plus merchant now has increased Silk inventory. The update also fixed some of the dialogue and cutscene issues that may arise. Ghost of Tsushima Legends received many more changes, including PS4 save import button to Legends standalone builds. Additionally, the players can now search for teammates who want to play custom mode, Perfect Completion. It's a separate matchmaking option for those who want to team up with others looking to unlock the Hidden Heart cosmetic. It involves completing the challenging custom platinum survival mode with 0 downs and zones losses. Along with the optional objectives, completed all difficulty modifiers enabled. So, real fast, I have to go around the room again because I genuinely can't remember. Who all owns and or has played Ghost of Tsushima?
I've never touched it.
You guys haven't touched it?
I'm just kidding. I haven't. Remember, I played with you.
I really, my mind is so vague on that. Like, I'm dead serious. I can't even remember.
He's forgotten you, Nineball. He's forgotten you.
I remember playing with Abs. I remember playing with Gravity. And
did you play with Abyss?
No, I know he has it, but I don't think I've ever played with Abyss.
Well, there was this other guy on the PlayStation called, what's his name? Called It's the Nineball, and he played with you a couple times.
Silence says we need to pass Cam a few more collective brain cells. Hey, I'm just saying I really don't remember that. Like, enlighten me. What missions did we do?
We did what was that? We did the Legends mode.
Okay.
We did the Legends mode to where we played one on the ship, and you had to go across the ship and stuff and come on the land and fight the people on the land and keep the areas on the ship and all that.
Yeah.
And we had one in the town area. I remember playing a couple of those.
Okay.
Can't remember. We played with. I can't remember who else we played with.
I think it was what because from what you're telling me now, it's like coming back to me, and I think we're playing my other buddy that is not part of the stream team at all. I could be wrong, but I think that's how it was. I think it was just the three of us. But yeah, anyway, that was so long ago. But yeah, so with that being said,
the two of us.
So with that being said, does Mildewy, do you plan on picking up Ghost of Tsushima anytime, or just go borrow your brother's at all?
Possibly if I get it on sale, and I think he's got digital, so that's a no. I'm borrowing.
Okay. Is anyone? I don't know if you get it. If you get that on sale, do you plan on going on over to Iki Island, which is the DLC?
Yeah, if I get through it and I like it, yeah, I'll probably get the DLC.
Nineball, what about you?
What are you talking about? I already got it.
Oh, you got the Iki Island DLC?
I should. I got the complete one. I think I got everything for it.
It would be the director's cut, so it's the one that came out after the game came out.
I'll look and see.
Yeah, I was about to say it came out later on as the PS5 update. Question: Who all has played Game of Thrones? Oh, Ghost of Tsushima. Answer: crickets. A lot of it. I played Ghost of Tsushima. I platinumed it. That was actually the first true game I platinumed. There was another game that I platinumed, but it was like a text game, and you just skip through all the stuff, and it was literally just a platinum, so that doesn't count. But the Ghost of Tsushima game, I platinumed all the way through. I still want to pick. I haven't picked up Iki Island yet because during that time period when it came out, I know there's other games that were coming out. Yeah, he says you have to show me the ropes on Legends one of these days now that I have it. Dude, yeah. Legends is actually really fun. It is a grind. I kid you not, it is a grind. But it is really fun though. Like you have the hunter, you have the hunter. Oh my goodness, I'm blanking on all that now. There's the hunter, there's the ronin, there's the samurai, and I think the last one is a ghost, which is the ninja pretty much. So, and the ronin is pretty much like a necromancer. it was a call on spirits and stuff that will kind of help you fight and everything, which is really cool. Hunter, bow and arrow, all that good stuff. Ghost can go invisible, and Samurai has does it have the stances? It has something, and also you can. Well, actually, everyone has stances. Now that I think about it, it just depends on what you equip to them. But yeah, it's definitely really fun, and I'm all down for it. I got through I think all the first levels because it is repetitive. But then you crank it up the difficulty because you start off at bronze, then you go on over to silver, and then go on over to the gold, which is like easy, medium, hard. And then later on, once you get your gear score up, you can start doing the dungeons, if you will, which is like the raids and stuff. And that switches out like once every week or something like that. Really cool stuff. But yeah, so with that being said, I think that's just a nice little sign that Ghost of Tsushima 2 is going to be more heavily developed and focused. I know they've already been working on a project, and it's assumably to be Ghost of Tsushima 2, from what a lot of people and sources are saying. But as of right now, I do think that that's going to allow them to have more focus on the next IP, whatever that will be. Story number 2, Portable 3 possibly. It's a 9-ball special. So Steve Watts from GameSpot.
Is that in the corner portal?
Corner portal, that's what it is. Steve Watts from GameSpot says this in their article. Portal writer Eric Wolpaw says he'd love to make Portal 3, but he's only one part of the process and can't start it on his own. He noted that the company is relatively small and almost everyone is already on a project, so assembling the team to make a hypothetical Portal 3 is difficult. Wolpaw said on the Kiwi Talks podcast, aka or via VGC, Video Game Chronicles, quote, I'd work on another Portal in a second, but I can't make it happen by myself. I could advocate for it. I might need a little bit of help, but the problem is Valve has 300 employees, and I don't know exactly the breakdown of how many of them are on production side versus Steam business side versus legal, whatever. He said that means that there's an opportunity cost to taking more than 75 employees to go to work on a project, and they'd have to leave behind whatever they're currently working on to start Portal 3. He also said that you'd make some money, but it won't be Counter-Strike Go money. But having that said, maybe every game doesn't need to make Counter-Strike Go money, you know? Gabe, if you're listening, he said. It's worth noting that that Wolpaw doesn't work full-time at Valve, so these decisions won't be his alone. 9-ball. Real fast, before I go on over to your thoughts about all of this, Silent inside the chat says, before I jump off, Tiny Tina DLC at Thursday, and Sony possibly looking to acquire From Software Dark Souls Elden Ring. Interesting. The From Software DLC. The From Software I did hear about, but the Tiny Tina DLC I did not. So if you guys are a Borderlands fan and has the Tiny Tina Wonderlands, be on the lookout for that. 9-ball. What does this news do for you as far as a Portal 3? Are you wanting a Portal 3? Do you think a Portal 3 will happen? Also, before I say that, of course, I can't believe I almost did this. Thank you very much, Silent, for jumping in and for hanging out with us. Of course, if you're able to stick around, awesome. If not, I will catch you on the flip side, maybe on some Smite a little bit later. Go ahead there, 9-ball.
I have to see it to believe it. I mean, I would be stoked if you can get the original writers, you get some of the original people back. Portal 1 was good. Portal 3 is great.
2.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. Portal 2 is great. It's one of my top 10 favorites. It's putting it in a category of a game. It would be considered a dark humor. It's very funny, very comic-y, and it's on its own thing. It's very puzzle-based, though, so it's not like a lot of shooting or anything. But the main villain, GLaDOS, is friggin' hilarious.
Heard that.
I would be stoked, but the problem is everybody knows. It's a meme. Valve can't count to 3. I would have to see this to believe it, to see for the first time they ever made a part 3 to something. We got Left 4 Dead 2. You got Half-Life 2. You got Portal 2.
So what exactly is Half-Life Alyx then?
That's a prequel. I don't know what it is. It's like Half-Life. What was it? 2 point something that came out. It's not Half-Life 3. It's technically in between. I don't know. They don't want to go to 3 or nothing. They're like scared of that. I don't know if they're superstitious or what. I think they're just scared of the number. So we're not going to 3.
Before I'm going over to Mildew's thoughts about the Portal, Silence says, "Love you, dudes. Band practice about to start. Otherwise, I'll kick it. Understand that. How are you? Because I'm a potato. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it, man. Mildewy, your thoughts. React.
For some reason, still keep ending up at the beginning whenever I play Portal, so don't know how I pulled that one off. So other than that, I really don't have much for it. Like, I mean, Portal is definitely a fun game. It's definitely a fun multiplayer game on too. It's one of those ones where it's been so long that I think they'd be better off trying to do maybe like either some sort of revamp or something possibly first. If not, then yes, I saw your face, Nineball. If not, then I don't know about 3 though. It's like kind of like walking up to someone's like, at a cafe and you're like, do you want option A on the menu or option B on the menu? And you're like, but I ordered C, even though you don't know what C is. It's that weird of a conversation. So I feel like. And that probably made no sense to anyone. Don't worry, it didn't make any sense to me either, as I said it. I really don't know how to feel about this one, I guess. I'm just, yeah.
Heard that. I never really been a Portal person, so this literally does nothing for me. But, I mean, it's something worth to keep an eye out for the community, for anyone that is excited for Portal. So maybe this will actually come to fruition here in the next year or so, or not year, but like maybe an announcement in like a year or so, and then the game releases in like 5 years or something. We'll just have to kind of wait.
Portal was kind of an interesting backstory to it as well, which is kind of funny because, to be honest, Portal actually started out as a college project for a group of, I believe, for college gaming. I watched a whole video about that. It's just when they seen it, I think Gabe Newell, somebody came to like one of the colleges when they was working on it. They was kind of just looking at them, and when they seen it, they just asked them, if you need any help or anything, just give us a call. And they did, and they helped them make Portal 3. They started out as something totally different, but got completely gutted for Portal 1.
Yeah, I'm very curious that how much money those college students have made them from this.
Portal 1 only was made, if I'm not mistaken, I think with only 8 people. Portal 2, I think, was like 16. Like, it wasn't that many people.
I believe it. I'm just kind of curious of how much money they made from it. Like,
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Because I'm assuming assuming that goodwill was still in order during that project, that all those people that started it have gotten a nice chunk of change from this.
Oh yeah, definitely. Not to mention too, like I said, it's became like it's a huge media icon. GLaDOS is basically a pop icon, showing up in other shows, even like Pacific Rim and stuff. Will reference them, and everybody knows the cake is a lie.
Oh, let's say I'm like, definitely got to mention the cake. What cake exactly? Like, I've seen that in like web comics, they do that.
Well, it's just how she would do it for a villain. I mean, GLaDOS was more like some people said, she's like, you ever seen those like teen movies with like the sorority, with the evil sorority? GLaDOS is like that. She like makes fun of your character, says she's fat, stuff like that. Doesn't really call her fat, but just makes fun of like, oh, I gotta add some more weight to it because of you. I didn't realize you was that heavy. Here, let me add some more to it. But it's so many fun things, and then getting the comedian made it even better. Portal 2 was, to be honest, one of my all-time favorites, and for me personally, I'll probably never forget it.
That's good.
I don't think it really needs a remake. Because by how it looks and everything, it stands on its own as its own thing. You can buy it pretty cheap most of the time on Steam, really, really cheap. Because usually it drops down real far.
Yeah.
I don't know about PlayStation. I don't know if PlayStation has it, but it's for
I'm
me.
not sure.
I would give somebody. I would say 100% pick it
I
up.
think it's on. Wasn't it originally on GameCube?
I think it was on Xbox.
It's on almost every system.
Yeah, because it was on that. I know that what's it called? The little free, but it was always like in like a dual disc.
Yeah, the orange box.
The orange box. That's what it was. I wanted to say red box, but I was like, I know that's not it.
Yeah, they didn't know how it was going to do, so they just put it all in the orange box and sent it all out. But the call for it was so huge. After the launch, it was like, oh my God, man, what is this game? Where did you get this from? This is excellent. And everybody loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how Portal 2 came to be.
Well, maybe. I know you have to see it to believe it, but maybe we'll see a Portal 3. And speaking,
please count the 3.
And speaking of counting the 3, story number 3, we have Amy Hennig. Yeah. Oh, he said 4. And Amy Hennig on a new Star Wars project. So Marcus Stewart from Game Informer says this in their story. Skydance New Media, the studio helmed by famed writer Amy Hennig, has announced a partnership with Lucasfilm Games. Let me grab a drink real fast because I'm okay.
He shot it. So
Skydance New Media, the studio helmed by famed writer Amy Hennig, was announced a partner with Lucasfilm Games to develop a new Star Wars title. The upcoming game is described in a press release as a richly cinematic action-adventure game that will feature an original story. That's about all there is in terms of details, as the project appears to be very early in development. Quote, I've often described how seeing the Star Wars in 1977 essentially rewired my 12-year-old brain, shaping my creative life and future indelibly. I can't even say that word, said Hennig in a press release. Quote, I'm elated to be working with the Lucasfilm Games again to tell interactive stories in the galaxy that I love. Hennig, best known as a chief creative mind behind the Uncharted series, is no stranger to working on the Star Wars license. Her last foray into the universe was EA's ill-fated Project Ragtag, the canceled Star Wars title by now defunct Visceral Games.
Oh, that game sounded so awesome when they pitched it. You was gonna play as a mercenary.
A lot of people were disappointed in that. And I've been seeing.
I was one of them. Like that was like looking actually interesting. Like I've seen Star Wars. I'm not a huge fan of the Star Wars universe, but I thought the game looked beautiful. I was like, oh, this looks kind of interesting. You're not playing as a Jedi. You're playing as more of a mercenary. It looked interesting, and then EA happened.
EA is like the Empire coming in, just ruining everything.
Yeah, well, maybe the Empire won't strike back this time. Mildewy, I know you're a Star Wars fan, and one of our buddies too, Barely Leave, who's a Star Wars fan, who's not on the stream right now, but I know he's a huge Star Wars fan. So shout out to Barely Leave. So speaking for him and speaking for yourself as a Star Wars fan, Mildewy, what does this do for you?
Can't you just pick up that title and just keep it going? To be honest, I'm always up for really good Star Wars games. So I played the Knights of the Old Republic, the online version one, and I mean it was pretty good when we did it for our 9 to 5. You know, I remember I think when it came out, like there was just some issues and concerns with it, but it wasn't like Coder at all. Which is obviously because it was an MMO, but new games are really good. They've got that new one that's coming out that they teased at. I want to say I think it was at the VGA Awards last year.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't remember the name.
It wasn't the VGAs. It was the Coder. You're talking about the Coder remake?
No,
not the Coder remake. There was another one that had those people playing the drums and stuff.
No, it's the
Eclipse.
Yeah, I think it was
Eclipse.
Eclipse.
It was Eclipse.
Okay, yeah, that was at the VGAs, so yes.
Star Wars Eclipse. That was it. Yeah, that was the one at the VGAs. Yeah, that one I cannot wait to see. Just the cinematics of that one was beautiful, and if she can pull off stuff like that, with a Star Wars game and give us a really good, plot lore, maybe even give us, choice based stuff, with the different depending upon which era she goes in. She can really make a good game, and Star Wars has a huge lore and universe that you can play with. You get everything from Mandalorians to there's just so many races and places, and they're like the book series. I read some of the book series were just like, holy crap, like just stuff that you don't even hear about in the movies or any other areas, and it's just such a massive world, so a massive universe. My apologies for them. So I wish her the best of luck, and can't wait to see what she puts out, and we'll have to wait for a trailer.
Heard that. Nine Ball. Well, actually, I know. Actually, you just went. I know that you said that you're not really huge.
No, no, it's not that I'm not huge into the lore or anything.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping she saves it. To be honest, let's put it frankly, Disney's outings with this has not been too well. The last 3 Star Wars movies,
I enjoyed them. I've heard the comments.
Yeah, for me personally, it went downhill for me. They're not the greatest. I'm hoping that she can, inject some new life into it. Because what game did she make?
Oh, well, she's the mastermind behind Uncharted.
Yeah, Uncharted, which
Uncharted was a really good series.
Fantastic series.
Now, it's
if
definitely
apply that to the game.
Well, that's what the last project was going to be. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It was going to be a Uncharted.
But she's got to cut off EA.
Yeah.
She's got to distract him. She's got to throw the fault.
I believe the last one called, what was it? Star Wars 1313 that got canceled.
Well, this one in particular, they are talking about like a partnership directly with Lucasfilms, because I know that was actually one of the things.
Which is Disney.
Well, yeah, and that was a thing that was like discussed, I think, even last year, to where they're no longer going to be trying to have EA just focus on Star Wars games, mainly because you had so many chances. Out of all the chances that you had, the only one that hit was
Battlefront.
No, but before that, it was a single player one.
No, I'm saying, you said that they had so many chances. I'm like, they Battlefront 2 Battlefront 2 mainly just fucked.
Battlefront 2 got sued by governments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lottery system online.
And every time I surprise mechanics, and you just looking at it like, oh, because British called them in the government for this mess.
Well, it was several different things. And not saying that they'll never work on Star Wars project again, but I know that they're not going to solely just go with EA. So this one, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not EA at all, because inside this entire article, I don't think I see EA mentioned once besides them talking about the failed Visceral game company.
They don't need EA to continue to work on them.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So
terrible you did.
Again, like for me, like I'm not really the biggest sci-fi person, so this doesn't do a ton for me. But we'll have to see what Amy Hennig does, because again, if it's anything like out of the game, I did go ahead and buy Coder because I wanted to see what the hype was about. Now, and that was before Coder Remake came out. Now that Coder Remake has been announced, I'm more like, should I go back and go through Coder? Or should I go
back?
Probably not. I wouldn't give you Coder because you're not the type for it. It uses
he plays
system.
Well, it does, but he also remembered, Nine Ball, you can't play through Dragon Age, the first one, and he can. So I say let him try. Let him try. I would recommend it because the reason why I'm saying that is because, as you state with the newer one coming out, I want people to be able to compare it to the new one. Like, get your feet wet in it. Like, see what it's about. It's definitely very unique. Very, very unique, like, system for dice rolling and all, but I mean, it's still, like, you gotta remember, this is like the heydays of this stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, this is like Xbox, like when we thought like Xbox was the biggest thing, and now we're like, kids nowadays are like, Xbox, what was that? Is that like, you talking about Xbox One? You're not saying everything right, Grandpa? And it's like, no, I am.
Well, it was kind of interesting when that first launched, though, because it was made by BioWare, but at the time, BioWare was actually part of Microsoft.
Yeah.
Years ago.
Yep.
That's the reason why certain games like Mass Effect 1 and I believe Coda 1 did not launch along with Jade Empire and stuff. They originally was part of Microsoft but left to go with EA.
Yep. No, and they launched. The thing is, though, it's like the systems for Mass Effect 1, like the aiming reticles, the control mechanisms were very...
It was a mess.
Oh, it was very messy.
The story was great. The controls were a mess.
Yeah, the system for like the story for Coder is fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Some of the mechanics, though, you definitely are very, and one of the things I definitely would recommend going into Coder is don't pick like the rogue option, because from what I remember, that's the hardest one to build into spec it. Because literally, what this is a merger of D&D and Star Wars gameplay when you go into combat. So
Zenshin chat says back when BioWare was actually good and not full of crunch, mental abuse, stress breaking hours, etc. So
yeah, well, they're getting better because they have to. Because I mean, Activision kind of, brought that all down the limelight, and every company is like, shit, clear the closet.
So yeah, but
like I said, best of luck to Amy Hennig. Hopefully she can bring something brand new, and I can't wait to see like what era she's going to be in, because Eclipse is going back to, if I remember right, before the Empire and before
the High Republic. I think that's the High Republic.
Yeah, it was the High Republic.
Yeah, so
it's before all of the stuff that we are familiar with in terms of Star Wars, of the Star Wars films and all. It's before all that.
I said, with me, I'm not real familiar. Besides the movies.
So,
I'm Star Trek 40K fan. I'm sorry, but I do. I mean,
I remember. I could have sworn that Eclipse was.
Yeah, I think it's Knights of the High Republic.
I think it's High Republic. I think High Republic was before all that. Let me just double check my knowledge here.
Yeah. Zenshin or anybody else inside the chat, if you guys already know off the top of your head, feel free to throw the comment up there. If you guys know that if Eclipse, the game that was announced at the VGAs last year, if that's Knights of the High Republic, and if the High Republic is post knowledge of what we have on Star Wars. And as he's looking that up, I do want to give a special thanks to everybody that's listening to us on Anchor, Spotify, anything that's an audio listener. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Again, this was our episode 16 for ALWT Things Gaming Season 2 on April 19th, 2022. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys, and we love you guys. Also, a general reminder that this Thursday we do plan on having our SIN segment with Bloodborne.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
But there is going to be an update. There's going to be a maintenance that's going to be happening. So it may be for a little bit, or it may possibly not be at all. So we have to be on the lookout for that whenever we go live. If we do, it will be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until 10 p.m. And then this Saturday is our 9 to 5, which that time might be adjusted just a little bit. But again, ideally, it's going to be our 9 to 5 as we go through Swords of Legends online. Did you figure out anything there, Mildewy?
I'm reading through it. So yeah, so they're saying like it rose to power. According to this, it was from just the images stating what they've seen so far from the trailer. It looks like this High Republic rose to power before Phantom Menace.
Yeah, that's really early.
That's
before Phantom Menace.
It's possible to illustrate how the organization rose to power prior to Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Okay.
So I think it's like the beginning of like the prologue to it almost. Let's see here. Yeah, it says there's also a 200-year gap from the height of the High Republic to its slow decline. There's plenty of time for Star Wars Eclipse to establish new lore, flesh out more of the era until now. only depicted in novels and comics. It's a perfect opportunity for a new Star Wars game, as it will be relatively unencumbered by having to navigate the continuing of the Skywalker saga. It has a planning to develop new storylines and characters that may influence the galaxy on a more significant scale. So make it sound like this is going to be a bigger game than what they're originally showing.
For the Eclipse.
It says, let's see here, the High Republic is new but familiar, and the aesthetics has been replicated in the trailer for Eclipse as it blends the imagery seen in the publishing initiative's art, more familiar designs from Star Wars prequel era.
Oh, okay. So it is a prequel. So it is
different era filled with new local characters. Yet years before the events of the Skywalker saga. So I was right. It was before the Skywalker saga.
There you go.
Before that all.
Yeah, so we'll just have to kind of wait and see if we get more information about that. I won't be surprised if we see a little bit more details. Maybe not a release date and gameplay, but I won't be surprised if we see more details about it during this Summer Game Fest, since we know that E3 is not happening. Or maybe at an Xbox showcase or something like that. PlayStation showcase. Who knows? Before we go on over to story number 4, I do want to remind you guys out there that's listening, if you guys are energy drinkers like moi, you guys going to go to Rep Sports, REPP sports.com. Type in ALWT Gaming at checkout and get 15% off your Raise energy drinks, which is quite delicious. No sugar in them. And it doesn't taste nasty. It doesn't. It has the watermelon frost, guava, mango, sour, gummy worms, and the list just goes on from there. Just tasty beverages. You guys want it. I tell you right now, it's quite delicious, and it gives you that boost of energy, like zzz, all that. You can also get your workout powders, your water supplements, all of that. You can like little swaggy t-shirts, all that good stuff. Just type in ALWT Game at checkout, reppsports.com. Get 15% off. Also, for anyone
Did you make a sound effect?
I did make a sound effect, yeah. Man, it happened, right? You're like, what was that? That was all Flash.
That was like...
Well, also want to go ahead and throw out there too that we have, if anyone that's been watching us live on a weekly basis, we have a fantasy gaming league, which is works very much like fantasy football. It's on a 100-point scale. 70 points is the threshold. Anything above 70 points on the Metacritic gains you points. Anything below 70 points, it loses you points. So how that works is that if I had Elden Ring, for example, on my list, and if it scored like an 80, it didn't score more than that. But just say if it scored an 80, then that would give me 10 points because that's 10 points above 70. But if I had something like Cyberpunk, and I keep hating that I always have to have Cyberpunk as an example, but it's very fitting, and it scored a 60, then that will be 10 points. Then that will make me lose 10 points because that's 10 points below 70. Anything that's above 90 points would give you double points. For again points that exceed 90 on that one, and you're not against just one person on a weekly basis, you're against everybody that's in the league on an annual basis. And then of course we have these things called counter picks, to where if I counter pick a game that It's Nineball has on his list, if it comes out and does poorly, I gain those points that he loses. If it comes out and does great, I lose the points, but he still gains the points like normal. Or if it does not come out and is delayed until the next year or something like that, then the way that we had the counter pick set up, you cannot drop that game. So there's an actual penalty for you not being able to. There's a penalty for you getting counter picked. So with that being said, there's 6 of us that's in the league right now, and I'm gonna go through the list real quickly. So on here we have Moga, which I think is in first place. Yeah, first place right now is Moga. Make Ohio Great Again. He has the following games on his list. Elden Ring, which got him, got 95 on Metacritic, got him 31 points in total. Pokemon Legends Arceus, got 84 on Metacritic, 14 points. Sifu, 80 points on Metacritic, 10 points. Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga, speaking of Star Wars, we have 82 on Metacritic and 12 points. For his overall score. And then he has Marvel's Midnight Suns, which is pending. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge pending. He has 2 open spots, and he has a counter pick of Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, which has been confirmed. It's not coming out this year. He's leading the pack right now with 66 points. Then we have Renzokuken, which was literally just silent just inside the chat. And he has on his list God of War Ragnarok pending. Triangle Strategy got 83 on Metacritic, 13 points for his score. Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League, not coming out. Chocobo GP got a 66 on Metacritic, which got him negative 4 points. Kirby in the Forgotten Land got an 85 on Metacritic, got him 15 points. Final Fantasy 16 pending. Metro Prime 4 pending. He has an open spot, and he has a counter pick of Diablo Immortal. He is right now in 5th place with 23 points. We have ALWT Gaming by yours truly. I have Horizon Forbidden West, got 88 on Metacritic, 18 points. A Plague Tale Requiem, pending. Starfield, pending. Ghostwire Tokyo, got 77 on Metacritic, 7 points. Gotham Knights, pending. Redfall, pending. The King of Fighters 15, got an 81 on Metacritic, 11 points for my score. Mario Strikers Battle League, pending. Bayonetta 3 is my counter pick, and I am in 3rd place with 36 points. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, Mildew is above me on that one.
I didn't even see him.
Yeah, I know. He came in there on the sneaker sleeper. Sneaker sleeper, you know what I mean? Illuminatus Living, a.k.a. Illis Be Live. He has Dying Light 2 Stay Human, 76 points on Metacritic, 6 points. Bayonetta 3, pending. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin, 73 points on Metacritic, 3 points. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, pending. Diablo Immortal, pending. Shovel Knight Dig, pending. He has 2 open spots and has a counter pick of Saints Row, which is the remake. And he is in last place right now with 9 points. Zaka Corp has Tiny Tina's Wonderland. And it's the 9-ball, by the way. He has Tiny Tina's Wonderland, 78 on Metacritic, 8 points. Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl, that is pending to be delayed. It's delayed in contention. Saints Row, pending. Total War Warhammer 3, got 86 on Metacritic, 16 points. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, pending. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, pending. Warhammer 40k Dark Tide, pending. He has an open spot, and he has a counter pick of Marvel's Midnight Suns. He is in 4th place with 25 points. And in 2nd place is Carrot Patch Inc., our former champion. That's right. He had the biggest pumpkin in the batch last year. Let's see if he can do it again. He has.
Excuse you. It was a carrot.
He has Gran Turismo. So big it was like a pumpkin. He has Gran Turismo 7, 87 points on Metacritic, 17 points. Forspoken, pending. Tunic, 85 points on Metacritic, 15 points. Ooh. Splatoon 3, pending. Stray, pending. Salt and Sacrifice, pending. Advanced Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, pending. Hogwarts Legacy, pending. And he has a counter pick of Chocobo GP, which got him 4 points since he counter picked it, and it did not exceed 70 points. So there you have it. There.
The only reason I'm in 2nd.
Hey, strategy is key. Strategy is key. Story number 4 we have right here. Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio returns. So Matt Purslow from IGN says this in their article. Sega is reportedly working on a bigger budget reboots for Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio, with the intention of creating new installments that generate reoccurring revenue in online communities. According to the report of Bloomberg, these reboots are part of Sega's Super Game Initiative, which aims to create games with large communities and the ability to generate a long tail of revenue. Basically, the Fortnite model of microtransaction-fueled content drops. Bloomberg sources claimed that the Crazy Taxi reboot has been in development for over a year, and that Sega's aimed to release it within the next 2 or 3 years. And it and Jet Set Radio are allegedly two of four playing super games with third apparently being first person shooters that aim to generate $780 million over its lifetime. Both Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio date back to the Dreamcast, and so it seems as if nostalgia might be a part of Sega's plan here, should the games be a reality. And even if both are in active development, Bloomberg sources state that they are both in early stages and could still be canceled. End quote, end story. I want to start this one with Mildewy Carrot as I grab a drink. What are your thoughts about this? Were you ever a fan of Crazy Taxi? Were you a fan of Jet Set Radio? What do you think about this inside of a 2022 environment?
Well, first off, I've never played them. I will be completely honest. I had to Google these titles because I was not familiar with them. Wow, I'm just being ignored here. Nine Ball. Not even paying attention.
I'm looking for something.
Just as soon as I start talking, turned around. No, I'm kidding. But no, I've never played either of these games, so I did look into it. Crazy Taxi kind of looks like, I think I played a game before, kind of like that, where it's like, I think it looks like it's a game where you're going around trying to pick up people, like, you know, get them to destinations, get money and all that. Like,
That
I
is
didn't read
Crazy
too
Taxi.
much. I may have played it, may not have. I don't remember too well. I just remember I think I did something similar. So
More likely you played it because there wasn't a whole lot of games that were similar like that.
and possibly, but it's been so long. My memory of it is just, you know, you picked up people and, you know, drove them to a place, which was pretty cool. You know, so awesome.
Yeah.
Jet Set Radio, I am not familiar with at all. That one I had to Google too. That one definitely seems like one where, you know, I mean, from what I read, it's like you're rollerblading around. It kind of reminds me of like Air Gear in game form, from just the descriptions I read of it.
Yeah.
So
well, think Tony Hawk Pro Skater, but you're doing graffiti and
well, that's why I said Air Gear.
rollerblading, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's why I said Air Gear.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen that anime,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called Air Gear, right? Hold on,
Find them.
if I can talk,
I'll find them
Alright, fine.
later.
I can type. Yeah, Air Gear. Sorry. Want to make sure I had the right anime. I wasn't, you know, having an old man brain fart. But in terms of them rebooting it,
look at the comment there, Mildewy.
let's see here. In the other room cooking, and the thing that caught my ear is Mildewy not remember JSR.
Yeah, Jet Set Radio. Yeah, man. Yeah,
I don't think I've ever
classic.
played it, Zenshin.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one thing I'm going to be honest on. I think I remember. I'm sorry, I make you sad. It was not one of the games that ever hit my radar. If it comes out on a reboot and it looks good enough, I'll probably pick it up and play it. You know, we'll see. But in terms of that, I mean, I'm glad that they're doing a reboot, I guess, and hopefully, you know, they got a good fan base come out to where they'll get, you know, good stuff going for it. You know, maybe then get, I don't know, maybe some sequels for them too, depending upon how well they do the reboots. And I'm actually kind of curious with it, with the reboot. If I remember, right, reboots are just revamping the graphics and everything, right?
No, I don't think they got a.
It's not gonna be a remake.
That's what I meant. It's like reboots are just like re-bringing the game up, polishing the coding, making it work, polishing graphics, possibly to make them for the newer systems.
Theoretically, yeah, that's normally how it is. Yes.
So I mean, that's good. I don't know why they're calling it a big budget reboots, but I guess it does need to be a big budget unless you're doing like a massive overhaul. But I would think they would call it something different than if it was more than that. But yeah, hopefully, you know, it does well, and once it comes out and it does good, maybe we'll get some sequels to them. So, but yeah, I'm sorry for like offending people, Zenshin.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
It was not one of the games that just ever crossed my radar. And to be honest, from how long we know each other, you never mentioned it too either. So there.
Yeah, it is one of those games that's like on the same shelf as Parappa the Rapper, Ready to Rumble, like boxing and everything like that.
What?
It's like on the same level as that. Like it's as far as like popularity and everything like that. I'm actually more surprised that you don't remember Crazy Taxi than I am Jet Set Radio. I think Jet Set Radio, not everyone remembers. I think most people do, but not everyone.
Well, that's the thing is I remember playing a game like that. I don't remember the name, so it might have been. It was so long ago when I was younger that, like, literally, like this, like you got to remember, guys, this is like 22 years ago for us.
Which
so
is also why
I might have remembered playing it. I might have.
Yeah.
But it's just to the point where it's like I remember the mechanics.
Yeah.
But I don't remember a name. So if that's the only game out there that's like that, then yes, I have played it. I will just say this. I was so young and stupid, I don't remember it that well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you hit the nail on the head. It was about 20 plus years ago. So with that being said, there wasn't a ton of copycats 20 plus years ago. Like there were some. I'm not saying that there was none, but there wasn't a ton. Like a lot of video games were doing different things that you were able to have your Crash Bandicoots. You were able to have your Spyro of the Dragons. You were able to have your Crazy Taxis, the Parappa the Rappers and stuff. So with that being said, if you played a game, like if you remember a concept of playing a game like that, the chances of it being Crazy Taxi is extremely high. So I'm more than likely to play Crazy Taxi, but I'm not surprised that you haven't played Jet Set Radio, even though I'm shocked that you haven't heard of Jet Set Radio until recently.
Okay, so go ahead.
Sorry.
It's all good. We'll say you were in Germany for that. That's what we'll say.
Okay, so I got a lot to say.
That's
Go ahead.
Fortunately, I played JSRF, Jet Set Radio Future. I have the game, Jet Set Radio Future.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely enjoyed it. I remember when I was younger, we used to play it all the time. Remember that song? They had that song, what was it? Birthday Cake was on there? I won't say the name of the song was. That weird song. Basically,
song. It sounds like all the songs from 2020 pop culture. Well, not 2020, 2000s, whatever.
You're like, I would say you're a group of like teenagers kind of in the future. You got rollerblades. You can like rail across the town and stuff. You get chased by cops.
Yeah.
And you can tag the walls. I remember doing that. You had like tag challenges. So we had to tag certain areas. And you can make up your own tag signs and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of Air Gear.
Yeah, that was the game back then. I used to play. I played the mess out of that. Crazy Taxi, I loved too. It was like you would pick up a person, but you have to get them to this area in a short amount of time.
Yep.
And you could drive through the. It was like kind of like Grand Theft Auto, because you could drive through anything. You could go through the grass, any place, as long as you get them there as fast as possible, and drop them off.
It was that, but also I think you couldn't like do any like major crashes, because if you did, that would take away from your tip or something like that.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, as long as you didn't crash or anything, he was good. He was good to go.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you were able to crash on other stuff. You just couldn't crash until like you couldn't do any big crashes that would slow you down or something like that.
Yeah, those two games are pretty iconic. I can see how they would put like a model in there, because to be honest, you had several characters to pick from on Jet Set Radio.
Yeah. And
you could put like, characters in there. Let's say like maybe famous people like Cardi B or something. I'm sorry, but maybe Cardi B or somebody could put in there, Beyonce or.
I thought they would kind of focus more on the hip hop portion of it versus anything that's like R&B or anything. So we probably would have your Snoop Dogg in there. You probably would have Cardi B for sure, because that's hip hop. Maybe a little bit of Nicki Minaj in there. You know what I mean?
Wait, we won't have the
Doja Cat. A lot of people, I know people won't have Doja Cat in there or whatever.
We ain't gonna have the Korean pop in there.
Nah, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. You have BTS.
Yeah. I mean, now, granted, I mean, you could do, because I mean, radio stations even nowadays they still, well, if they're a hip hop radio station, you hear them say hip hop and R&B, so they could put R&B in there. But I don't know. This is very kind of skating around as Kanye West. That'd be very, very intriguing. Very, very interesting there. I do want to ask you, Nine Ball, because I mean I played both too as well. I played a lot of Crazy Taxi back in the day. Played some Jet Set Radio. Was tagging up the walls, all that good stuff. Does this work though in a world of 2023, 2024?
That's where it gets fascinating, because back then it worked because of the time period and most people was into that stuff.
Yeah, it's very arcadey.
Yeah, it depends on how they do it, and I'm trying to figure out how they would do the models and stuff. The online version could be based off tagging and have like mini games or something, but it depends on how they do it. I have to see more from them before I say anything on that.
Yeah.
Well, with what they're projecting for the project and all, it definitely has to be something like with a huge, massive, like I'd say graphic overhaul at least, because of what they're saying with big budget reboot. When you say a big budget, you're normally spending a lot of money on something.
Yeah.
A lot of times with games, the big budget normally comes from mechanics and graphics a lot of times. So if they're doing a big budget reboot, that tells me that it's going to get like a massive overhaul on graphics and probably core controls and mechanics, because we're in 2022 now and they've got a lot better stuff, especially with the newer engines coming out. I don't know if they're going to do this on 4 or 5, or if they're doing it on their own studio system. I don't know what they've got. But I would think it'd be something to where it would be appealing to the audiences now.
Yeah.
Zenshin inside the chat was like, "Wait, Crazy Taxi? Well, yeah, it was like a while ago. Lol. Don't try and make us sound younger than we are, Zenshin. Don't try, bro." He said GTA Taxi, but more cartoony.
Yeah.
I know, right? Skating around as Kanye.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That skating around as Kanye would be very intriguing, very interesting.
Now, I did enjoy some Tony Hawk back in the day. Like I said, so I have never heard of this, but it's like if this comes out and it's they've definitely revamped it and done real good with it. Like I said, I'll probably definitely pick it up and play. If it's got online features, then hey, maybe we can get a crew together, go on tag and shit, acting like we're cool, even though we're not young and cool.
Well, since they're reviving games, Microsoft, I got an idea. Please bring back Phantom Dust.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Phantom Dust.
Zenshin inside the chat says online most likely gonna get a huge overhaul considering how heavy online play is required nowadays. So and again,
cross-platform co-op, yeah.
And it's also going to be, like, here's the thing, though, is that I think that's also going to, I mean, it didn't mention that it's going to be a Fortnite model as far as that goes. Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio have multiplayer in it. Like, in Crazy Taxi, it literally was something that you're just trying to rush on over, trying to get the fastest times and the most money by delivering the most people to their destinations and stuff. I think it was only 2 players for Crazy Taxi, maybe 4 players for Jet Set Radio. I can't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's been a while since we did.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like, with that being said, like even right now, Tony Hawk, I own the Tony Hawk games right now, 1+2. Like I have it, and they do have online features for that, so it's possible. I'm just curious of how they're going to officially vamp it out.
I could definitely see you doing like maybe the Crazy Taxi. You could definitely be doing 1v1v1v1s, or you could do like 2v2s in terms of like racing to get more money for each of your teams. Maybe doing like kind of like story co-op modes or something where it's like combat against like a rival taxi company, like trying to level up like that. Do stuff like that sort of thing with jet sets. You definitely go around skating, doing tricks and all. You would have tag challenges, speed challenges, probably trial challenges, trick challenges, things like that. And you could probably have like a crew you could get together and do stuff online with, or like I said, do like kind of like I think they did this in Tony Hawk and all, where it's like you do challenge, like you just compete against each other in challenges. I don't know the story for Jet Set, so like I think it was like if it's like Air Gear where you're challenging other crews, then you'll have to like beat them out, like to get territories, King of the Hill stuff. Maybe, I don't know. So
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember if Jet Set even had a story. I think
it
was
had
just
a
going around.
Story. Like I think it was like resisting against the government or something, but it's been forever.
Yeah, Crazy Taxi definitely doesn't have a story. It's just you're just literally just going out there making money, going crazy. Jet Set, like I just remember just getting away from cops, grinding rails, tagging the walls, and try to get a high score. That's all I remember from Jet Set. I don't remember anything more in depth on that. But then again, we were kids, so I didn't really care about a story like that. I just wanted to skate and grind and stuff. Because that back in that time period, exports was really huge, like BMX biking. You know what I mean? The aggressive inline skating, which I was heavy into. Same thing as skateboarding. The razor scooters, like all that stuff was real hot for us back then. And that was around the time period where Jet Set Radio really, really shined. Story number 5. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is dropping early. So on this, George Young, he said, Zenshin inside the chat says crazy cops and government, something like that, yeah. Talk about Jet Set Radio, by the way. George Young from IGN says...
Mirror's Edge.
George Young from IGN says this is an article for the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 drop. Nintendo and Monolith Soft has announced that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 will launch on July 29th for Nintendo Switch. The game was previously set for September release date, but has actually been pushed forward. Oh, that's a big... I didn't realize it was in September. September to July. All right, back to the article. A new trailer for the Xenoblade Chronicles 3... Yeah, huge. Was posted too, which you can watch below, and I'm going to actually throw that up here because I did not realize that. A new press release adds some fresh gameplay details, including the fact that you'll be able to battle with up to 7 characters at once. The game follows protagonists Noah and Mio as they navigate through the turbulence between the nations of Kevs and Agnes. Noah's party will consist of 6 characters from both nations, including Lance, Senna, Uni, and Talon. They set out to uncover the truth behind the conflict as well as reach Swords March, a land with a giant sword. Noah wields a sword in a battle and specializes in close range combat, and Mio's a Zephyr who is able to draw enemy attention and evade their attacks. The other party members will have their own character classes, and players can change them during the game as they progress throughout the story. I want to start this one off with you, Nineball. It looks like Zenshin inside the chat is happy about that. He's like, oh hell yeah! I'm gonna pull this up real quick. If you want to discuss your thoughts about Xenoblade 3 coming to Switch, not in September, but in July.
So, unlike the last story, I don't have a lot of info on this one. I never really got to touch a Xenoblade. I never really played much of them. I am glad to see Monolith. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Last time I was Monolith, they was working on, wow, 2 of the best horror games I played when I was younger. Condemned Criminal Origins and Fear. It looks pretty good. It sounds interesting. And with the last one doing so well, not the last one I'm thinking of. The last JRPG doing great, being the one I think of, Tales of Arise. I'm hoping they have the same stroke of luck.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I'm playing it right now on the back end. If you guys want to watch it as we discuss.
That other game I just looked at, I was checking out something. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It looks good. I mean,
yeah, I've never actually jumped inside of a Xenoblade myself either. But so before I say my little side piece about it, Mildew, have you jumped inside any of the Xenoblades? Like, what does it do for you?
I jumped into the first one a bit, and then I got completely distracted by other stuff. So it's definitely a game series I want to go back and play through, for sure. The fact that it's coming earlier is pretty interesting. I just, I know we had some other games that kind of did that too, where they're either delayed or they actually got done ahead of time than they thought, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But, I definitely, hope that they sound like they've got everything ready to go and all. So if they can drop early, awesome. Power to them. I know it's a really good series, especially for Switch and them. So I cannot remember though if the first and second one are on the Switch yet in the store, or if they still are on the older systems. But yeah, no, it's definitely one that's on my list eventually to get. I still haven't even finished playing through freaking Breath of the Wilds, man.
Gotcha.
It has, for me, kind of a Tales look to it, though.
Yeah, even for me, like it honestly has a mixture of Final Fantasy and Phantasy Star. Like I definitely am seeing some of that in there too as well. And Xenoblade's series is a Nintendo exclusive, right?
What is that other game I was thinking of? Oh my God.
Since it says I think Xenoblade Chronicles is on the Switch now. Okay.
It isn't on the Switch now.
Not Phantasy Star. It's another JRPG sci-fi where it takes place in space.
Star Ocean?
Star Ocean, yes. That was the other one.
I don't know if because I don't remember. Does this have free movement combat?
Yeah, it's definitely free movement combat. It's not
okay.
on the ATB.
Okay, then then it definitely would be like Star Ocean style. Star Ocean and then the other one. Yeah. I've already forgotten.
Yeah, 7/29/2022. Go play it back one more time.
Interesting.
Yeah, so so there you have it. I mean, so you played a little bit of it. I haven't touched it at all. Nineball hasn't touched it either. But is this going to get you inside the series though, Nineball?
I love sci-fi. This looks like a sci-fi world.
Oh yeah.
This to me. Yeah, I was about to say this to me is a perfect mix of sci-fi and fantasy. Because that's the thing. Like I'm more the fantasy guy, and I'm less on the sci-fi portion of it. But I am all about sci-fi fantasy, and I think
this is definitely free motion combat. This is
yeah. Nice.
No, yeah.
So this, I mean, looking at this, especially if it has a good story, like Zenshin, if you're sitting inside the chat, like, does this have a good, compelling story on it? Again, I'm a Final Fantasy 7. I mean, I'm a Final Fantasy person, primarily Final Fantasy 7, 8, 10 are the ones that I really, really like. And of course, 7 Remake, it's just still, I consider that 7 storyline because it still is based off of that. So, like, with those types of stories and maybe like the story of Dragon Age and everything like that, what what would this rank fall into? Do you think this would be high on the list? Do you think it would be on the low on the list? Like, if you had to put on a scale of 1 to 10 as a recommendation for a gamer as myself, what would you put that on there, Zenshin?
That's definitely like a Tales aspect to it, to where they merge like that, though.
Yeah.
Because I know that on Tales, like Tales of Zestiria and Tales of Berseria, the Seraphim do merge with people in order to create new forms.
Mm-hmm. It says, FYI, so far every game they have been living on the backs of giant living beings, and the past 3 stories have been very intriguing. Interesting. So I mean, like, it's this trailer is kind of selling me on the franchise. Like, it's doing the same thing that I want to do for Fire Emblem, which is to get inside Fire Emblem. Just because the characters are so cool, but like looking at this right now, feels very Final Fantasy X mixed in with Phantasy Star Online to me, and both of those games I love and adore. Yeah. So there you have it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop this then. And then
Xenosaga is on PlayStation. Had it.
Saga or Xeno Chronicles? Xenoblade Chronicles.
I'm looking at Xenosaga. I'm in the wrong one.
Because those are, I was about to say, Xenosaga is different, right?
Xenosaga is different, but it's still a fantastic game. Xenosaga is on PlayStation series. I've got the 3 discs for the 3 series of it. It's beautiful. It's very sci-fi heavy though, so it might not be Malachi's alley, but it's definitely be up probably 9 balls. It is turn-based though. Just a heads up.
Don't mind that.
But I know you don't. I'm just saying to everyone else out there, it is turn-based, but it is a beautiful series. I love it so much.
A couple fun ones for you guys, throwing it out there. Story number 6 is the 2-parter. So we have PSVR 2 update. Andrew McPhillips from Game Rant says this in the article. A lot is already known about the PlayStation 2 VR or PlayStation 5 VR, such as the design along with descriptions of system specs and new features. However, a release date for the simple remains elusive. Though many expect VR system to release around the end of 2022, now rumors suggest the release of PSVR 2 to fall into 2023. This was originally guessed to be due to the supply delay, but new patents filed by Sony suggest it's still adding to the software of the system. A new patent filed by Sony. They just kind of repeated it. A new patent filed by Sony suggests that the eye tracking feature for PSVR 2 could feed into the machine learning system, and that is programmed to figure out where in a scene a player most likely. All right, let me read that again. Where in a scene a player is most likely to look first. The system would then be dedicate processing power to the render in that area first. If this works, it should render large scenes in such a way that the player wearing the VR headset doesn't even notice, as they will have naturally looked towards that area that has been rendered first. So a pretty interesting there. Hooty hoo! Mr. Satan said in chat, Trevin, update your smite. So he says 9-ball, update your smite.
Dang it! I forgot about that.
Powering up to 5 now.
Yeah. So there you go. So there, a little update on there to where it's like, again, they're trying to have the PSVR 2 kind of learn as you play, and right now it looks like they're trying to enhance the eye tracking even more. I can't tell you guys. I mean, I know we beat this horse dead already, but I'm still very excited about this, and I've always wanted to jump inside VR, but going inside VR with haptic feedback capabilities is making me even more excited. I know it's not going to be the full SAO or Log Horizon experience, and of course I would like to log out, but I'm just saying it's not going to be anything like that, but I think that's a step in the right direction to kind of be more immersive and lost inside the world and everything like that. very curious to see how that's going to go.
Yeah.
And then the other fun one is Xbox brings ads. Emma Roth from The Verge says this in the article. Microsoft is reportedly working on a program that will let brands showcase advertisement within free-to-play Xbox games, according to the report from Insider. Sources familiar with the situation told Insider that the ads will disrupt gameplay and may appear on a billboard in a racing game, for example. It's not immediately clear how else Microsoft plans to implement ads, such as having them show up as avatar skins or as videos inside game lobbies. But as Insider notes, Microsoft is reportedly concerned that the ads could, quote-unquote, irritate players and is planning on building a private marketplace to let the select brands into program. Sources also told the game developer and advertising company to share funds. It's possible that Microsoft may just want to use this way to attract more developers of free-to-play games to the platform, as this would open up another stream of revenue outside the microtransactions. End quote. Sorry, Ohio Inside the Check just cracked me up on that. Full Dive or Bust. He's talking about the anime that me and him were both currently watching. Full Dive. A long title, but it's Full Dive is the title of it for the anime. But yeah, very, very, very immersive, very interesting. But going back over to the ads, I've never really been a huge ad person, but I mean, hey, like as long as it's not gonna mess up the gameplay.
Ad person.
Yeah, but sometimes at the same time, ads kind of get you. Like if it's something that just catches your eye, which that's the purpose of the ad, that catches your eye, you want to go ahead and make a purchase. You're going over to Pizza Hut and you order a pizza. You go on over to Amazon and order something off of Amazon. Like it does a really good job as far as catching the eye. But I'm just kind of curious of how they're going to do it. As long as it doesn't disrupt gameplay, I guess.
What I'm thinking of, I'm a reference a game nobody wants to talk about, but maybe sort of in a way of Cyberpunk's doing it, to where they may have ads maybe in the massive world itself. They would be like New York, where you may see them scroll across a billboard or look at like a bus station and stop and have like an ad there.
Yeah, that's how they're saying it. That's how they're saying it's going to be more like.
I'm hoping they don't have like full blown commercials. Like which Madden or NBA Live actually had commercials in them?
It was one. It was. I'm pretty sure it was NBA 2K.
Yeah, 2K. One of them put like literal ads in the middle of their game.
He said, "Ooh, not the C word." Yeah. But yeah, so there you have it. I mean, yeah. So, any other commentary about the ads before we go ahead and wrap up the show? I mean, they're just ads inside the game. So
sounds like an additive to me.
Additive. All right, there you go. But again, just one more reminder that this Thursday is going to be our SIN segment. Assuming the maintenance is cleared, it's very possible you guys will not get a stream this Thursday, but if we are streaming, it will be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This Saturday is our 9 to 5, so be on the lookout for that as we play. Swords of Legend Online.
Oh yeah, I finally made space for that. Delete like my Star Wars to get space for it.
Oh no.
There you go. Swords of Legends Online. So we are going to see what that game is like, how it is. It's an MMORPG, and if it's free, it's for me. Again, I am Flash36, aka Malachi36. It's the 9 Ball. This is Mildew and Carrot. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Until next time, Control, Alt,
Complete.
Peace.